finally, we wanted to kind of ask a little bit about some of the research projects you have going on. So, one of the things, NASA Tournament Lab, and some other areas that you're investigating. Maybe you could just share about those.
Sure. So the big relationship with TopCoder right now is actually a collaboration between TopCoder, NASA, and Harvard. And it's called the NASA Tournament Lab.
So that's like the three primary leading institutes.
Yeah, maybe. Exactly. And yeah, probably the oldest organized institute in America, Harvard. Yeah, and so the history of that was that I had in the executive education program here at HBS. I taught a case on open innovation. Actually, we did a case on Threadless, the T-shirt company. Mm-hmm. And in the audience was the head of space life sciences from NASA, Jeff Davis. After the case got discussed, and I had a presentation as well where I talked about the various platforms that existed, including TopCoder, he approached me and said, could this model work for NASA? And I said, I don't see why not. Other firms are using these types of platforms. I don't see why it wouldn't work for NASA. And that got us going down a path of helping NASA think about open innovation initiatives within the space agency. At the same time, I was very interested in saying, could we actually run field experiments on the TopCoder platform where we could get some good insights about the way people behave in contests and self-selection and so on. And so I approached TopCoder, and they said, "Yeah, we'd be happy for you to run experiments on the platform," and I was looking for a cool problem, so I asked my colleagues at NASA, and I said, "Hey, can I get a cool problem? I'll fund the prize money, and so on. I just want to be a cool problem." And so they gave us one from their integrated medical management model, mm-hmm. which is geared towards helping them plan missions into space, different types of missions. And as they sort of think about beyond the shuttle, as they sort of think about longer term space missions, both in the space station, but also back to the moon or to Mars, they have to really think about how to plan for medical emergencies on these various vehicles or various stations. And this is a big long-term effort for them to be able to model and come up with a way to predict how various crews might react to various medical emergencies. And the biggest concern they have are crew evacuation. So if they're in space and they can't be treated, they have to be brought back. And this would be probably end the mission and be very costly and so on. So they're actively trying to figure out ways in which they can actually solve this problem. And so they gave us that problem to run on the TopCoder platform. We ran it. We had, I think, over 1,000 people register and over 500 people submit code mm-hmm. over, again, a 2-week period. And the results were very, very cool, very robust. We were able to finish up our experiment, but NASA got working code that they could then use to then put it into their systems. And they came back to us and sort of said, wow, this sounds really good, do more. And I'm like, no, I'm busy. And we got talking back and forth, and I said, if you're serious about this, then you should basically help fund an initiative where we take real problems from NASA, put them on the TopCoder platform, we'll deliver code for NASA, but at the same time, we can do our social science research on about platform mechanics and contest mechanics on TopCoder. And they actually liked that a lot, so we basically put in a proposal. They put an RFP out, we put in a proposal that was a joint between us and TopCoder mm-hmm. saying, here's how we would do this. We won the process, the competitive bidding process. And so then as of last fall, we established the NASA Tournament Labs, mm-hmm. which basically takes challenges from NASA and then puts them on the platform. And we've run now several of all different types. So we run big data challenges around image detection, crater detection. Mm-hmm. We've done conceptualization challenges and software development challenges as well on the platform. and we've got some very cool ones on the pipeline coming through as well. Some related to the space station, some related to sort of optimal satellite control, some are related to deep space communication, and so on. So
Very
we're going to be putting through some very cool big data, heavy algorithmic challenges along the way. Our goal is for this pilot, is to actually, in the end, build up a stand-up facility that NASA can go on demand and get software developed through this mechanism. So that's been one big area, and that has now filtered into a federal center for collaborative innovation, which we are going to be part of, where basically the federal government as a whole is encouraging the use of contest-based open innovation platforms to be used more widely in federal government. And so we just recently are doing a challenge around the U.S. Patent Office, where we're trying to help speed up the process for patent examination. And this contest is currently running, and by the time this probably airs, you'll have results for it as well. And probably other agencies as well from the federal government will be working with us. We also have a relationship with Health and Human Services and the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, where we're helping to think about various software development challenges for them as well.
Very cool.
And then my other life with the medical school, we are actually in the process of selecting 5 big data challenges that we're going to run that are medically related on TopCoder as well.
Very cool.
We did a very
What's
soft.
the timeline for that?
Should be coming up in January or so. In this month, in this quarter, we should have at least a couple up
That's
and running. We did a very soft announcement, just trying to gauge interest from the medical school community to sort of say, could we get problems from researchers? And in the space of 2 weeks, we got 21 different challenges come through with very little promotion. And so we think that this, again, our hope is that that oftentimes, there's a suboptimal matching against between what a researcher needs and the skill sets they may have, that a group may have. And so oftentimes in an academic setting, let's say you're a biologist and you're doing genomic wide studies, you now basically both have to be good in biology and good in computer science. Now, but what's happening is that all the computer scientists aren't coming to the medical profession. They're going to go work at Google or Apple or Facebook or Amazon, right? Where they're helping us click more ads.
Right.
And they're not actually doing work in these medical settings. And our hope is that by opening up these problems to a wider community of people that are a TopCoder, that we can actually get the best brains working on it from a computer science perspective. And we've seen the benefits of that already from the challenge we did before for genomics. We know what that's doing for NASA. We know what that's done in other settings as well. And so we think this is going to be a good model to actually help accelerate medical research by tying in a distributed community with real medical problems.